So our first Just Local exclusive, it hasn't taken long to get to the point, and we're very, very lucky to be joined by Simon Lancaster from Worcester City Football Club and Laura Napper from Sixways. And you may have seen in the press, and you may have seen the recent announcement that there has been a bit of a sporting movement in the local area, and we've heard about it. We knew it in the background, but we couldn't say anything until obviously the big news was announced. So we'd lined up Laura and Simon to come and join us, and we're very, very fortunate to have them both with us today to talk through what exciting plans there are now afoot. So let me start with you, Simon. So Worcester City Football Club, Claines Lane, having a cracking season, doing really, really well, but you're starting to think about the future of the club and the plans. Is that the kind of the premise of where this all began?
Yeah, I think so. So, we've made no secret that to secure our long-term future, we need to source our own home to become sustainable. But that is a long-term, project, if you like. And in the meantime, we've got to look after the short term. And it just felt like the stars aligned. Obviously, we had a break clause at Claines next summer, which had to be activated this month if we wanted to activate it. We've been talking to Laura and Beth for a while at Sixways, and then things just evolved, and it seemed right, and it worked. So we got it done. Frantic last couple of weeks, to be fair. Sounds easy saying we got it done, but it gives us a great short to medium term solution. It can look after all of our requirements and help us grow and improve the commercial offerings and the first team offerings and the youth and all of our key pillars. It can help across all of them to take us to the next level, I think. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more. But
we definitely will.
But yeah,
we definitely will. So I saw you last season, Laura. You were, when Worcester City played a couple of games over at Sixways, you were there smiling, seeing all the people that you recognised and knew. So you must be chuffed to bits with this coming together.
Yeah, it'll be really good, actually. I think it's really good for Worcester as a whole at the moment. Obviously, for Sixways, it's really great for us as a venue and in terms of what our future looks like and what we want to be. We've made quite a lot of noise around needing to be financially sustainable and therefore aligning with the different kind of clients that we work with and offerings that we have. We also want to be multi-sport, so this really supports that journey.
Without a doubt. And one of the things I was excited to see was obviously there's now big plans for hospitality as well, so opportunities with the space that is provided upstairs and in the various different boxes and stuff like that. But how's that looking? What's the thought process with that? Who wants to answer? I don't know who goes first, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that watch this and listen to this podcast that are going, right, so we can go watch football at Sixways. We're happy with that. So yeah, what's the thoughts? Early stages.
The first thing is, Matt, you're just signing up to hospitality, aren't you?
But it sounds like I am. Any sport you play there, I'm there, and concerts, I'll be there for all of it.
Excellent.
To be fair on that, Matt did say to me, I think last summer, look, if ever you go to Sixways, I'll do loads. So.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
That's it. We've got that recorded.
Yeah.
All right.
Chuffed a bit.
No, so hospitality-wise, look, we've got lots of planning stages. There'll be lots of different conversations that we're having in the new year as we set up for the new season. Ultimately, the opportunity is there. There will be hospitality. There will be an offering. I don't want to speak on City's behalf, but I'm sure there'll be different offerings at different times, and we'll probably have a bit of fun with it in the first year. But the great thing is it will be there, it will be vibrant.
Yep.
There's already so many people like your good self, Matt, that just want to be back in hospitality at Sixways, supporting City. They want to be there and rubbing shoulders, networking. So I just think it's going to be a great vibe.
Yeah, I must admit, I was speaking to one of Simon's team, Rob McKetchley, who's involved with Worcester City Football Club, I think on the day or the day before it actually did eventually happen. And I was saying, you're going to find lots of people coming out the woodwork, because when you do get the tables at 10 and a couple of people can have a couple of spaces there and, they're having a beer, having some food, and then they can go and watch some football, it's going to be a buzz. I mean, you must be excited. Yeah,
very excited. I think, like Laura said, every conversation we've had, it's going to be quite collaborative and joined up, which is brilliant and refreshing, and we're going to find solutions to make things happen. I think you're absolutely right. There's a massive thirst in Worcester for businesses to get involved. At Claines, we were limited on that, not through any fault of anybody's there, but just the pure reality of the venue. We were limited in what we could do. So Rob and Carl were fighting with one hand tied behind their back, really, to a degree. They did really well, and lots of sponsors, including yourself, supported us, but there was a limit to what we could do there. But I think with Sixways being such a great venue, and with them entering an exciting new era and a new ownership and all the plans that they've got, I think again it works quite well, and we can tap into that and get lots of more businesses involved. So many have reached out already since the news broke on Friday saying, we want to do more, and it's almost like Calm down.
Well, no, write all those names down. Get ready for the rush. And then obviously Laura, Beth, and the team, they've got a big database that they can speak to, and your connections. I'm sure you've got a lot of people that will go and watch the Modus and go and watch the...
Absolutely. It's in our best interest with anything we do at Sixways, and anybody that comes to Sixways to support it. We want to have the venue, thriving at all times. We want to have people coming to Sixways as a destination, having a great time. The fact that they've got football, hopefully we'll have other sports in the future.
You can't tell us anything,
events.
no exclusives on that today? No, it's a shame. That'd be good for Christmas.
It would, wouldn't it? There's still hope.
Okay, fine.
But right now, there's still just so much more opportunity with this. There's just, there's a lot of football fixtures in the year, so that's a lot of sport already.
We were talking like pre-season as well, pre-season fixtures.
Yeah, we'd love to get some big name clubs down for pre-season, do a big launch and get some good crowds in pre-season, all that sort of stuff. And hopefully the weather will be...
Any Wolves owners or anything like that are looking in and watching this, or Baggies fans or anything, if you can get them along, that'd be great.
Hopefully if the weather's good and get the fans in, and all these sorts of things. Like I said, it's early stages, we haven't planned any detail yet, but all these exciting opportunities will be definitely explored, and for the benefit of both, Sixways and the city's got to be good to generate revenue.
And let's go back to Claines Lane at the moment then. So I've been to a couple of games at Claines Lane, and it is again a great venue, good atmosphere, and it's probably one of those things that I want to kind of get a point across to other people that don't just wait until the new season starts. We'll obviously fill your seats as much as we can, but let's really focus. These boys are doing well this season, aren't they? They're having a cracking run.
Yeah, absolutely. I've only got good things to say about Claines and the people there. And like you say, we're having a good season, touch wood. And if we can keep that going and have a push for those playoffs, then come and support Chris and the team this season, and let's enjoy the last, I think we've got 9 games left at Claines. Let's make those as good and big as possible and make this season a success, and then we can move on to the next season thereafter. And
you can talk me through the league, but as I understand it, there's a team who's kind of a bit out in front, but then second and third's quite close. Yeah,
so as we speak, I think, the leaders seem quite out in front, but it's all to play for in the playoffs, which we're in the mix for. We're second as we speak, and second to 5 going to the playoffs. So we're trying to get into the playoffs, which we stand a chance, but it's still a long way to go, and we've got to work hard for it. But I think if we can get into those in our first season in the league, that'd be a great effort.
And it must be exciting for the players as well to play at Sixways. A lot of them would have experienced it last season because you had a couple of games there that were hosted, and I know obviously why the pitch got improved when it did, because the speed of play and the fact that it will never be a write-off, and those bits are obviously very important and probably a crucial part of your decision making, I would have thought.
Yeah, definitely. Chris was part of the conversations, and he was all for it from a football point of view, the facilities, and like I think he said in the interview that we did, the off-pitch facilities as well, change rooms, a gym and all that sort of stuff, training facilities, the pitch itself, getting games on, the speed of the surface, the style of play we like to play, all that definitely forms part of it. And on your point in the players, we had a home game on Saturday, and we were in the bar after, and they were all coming up saying, great news, yes, they were buzzing for it and stuff like that. Some have played at Sixways, some have not, and so they're excited about it. And I think Chris said as well, he's having conversations next time with new players. Maybe it might be part of the conversation.
I don't want to say too much, obviously, because the existing team are doing a cracking job. But it must open a few eyes from players that are on the outsides, going, well, they're obviously in a positive position. Venue's going to be amazing. A good kind of culture, great city support. It's got a lot of things going in its favour. So if you want to go and play good football in a good place, there won't be many other places to look at locally, certainly. I wouldn't have thought there's going to be many options.
Definitely not. No. And you're right, there won't be an overhaul of the squad, but we're always looking to add 1 or 2 and things like that, and it will make those conversations easier for sure, yeah.
So let's talk about the future then. So you mentioned about it's obviously for the first team, this is an amazing opportunity, but how will it kind of feed back into the youth and the other department? Because when you were on the podcast a few weeks ago, 27 teams I think you've got, is that youth?
Yes, and growing, boys and girls,
So they'll have pitch walkout sponsorship opportunities, they'll be out there doing that, or
definitely. And again, so it's a recurring theme, but we've got to obviously put meat on the bones. But absolutely, the intention is to maximise the youth and get the kids down on match day. And we've got lots of birthday parties and mascots, and get them out on the pitch and give them a tour of the stadium, and it's going to be brilliant for them. And penalty shootouts, all that sort of stuff. So the more of that, the better. And engaging those kids, because they're our future fans and hopefully players and volunteers and all that sort of stuff. So we've always been passionate about the youth, and this will really help that. Getting them there and getting them involved and trying to make the match day as good as possible for them. And then trying to get them growing with us, really. So
I mean, you must feel very positive kind of going into this next period. Obviously, nine games, home games, that will be important to you, but knowing that some of the kind of the plans will already be in place because they worked really well when Warriors were playing there. Like the hospitality kind of works, we know how that works, and security works. You've got all the connections and all those bits and pieces. What's your kind of get Christmas out of the way? What's your first steps? What's the next bits for you really in terms of like getting it to happen? You're going to start looking at the pre-season. Is it you start to?
I think we've got some planning meetings booked in for January.
Yeah.
So just planning meetings from January onwards. Really trying to get that meat on the bones and get everything ready so that we're really ready to hit the ground running in July and pre-season and.
How many games do you typically have at home? Like, because I've talked about Sixways before, and if and when Warriors come back, it's not normally more than like 13, 14 games at home, really. It depends on what leagues or seasons they're.
Around that.
Yeah. So how many football games?
It depends how many are in the league, but it's generally a 20-team league, so 19 home games. But then of course you have cup games, so it varies. But I would say late 20s, 26, 27.
Which is fantastic. And I mean, one thing that people probably dismiss and don't really think about is it's so easy to get to. The parking's a doddle. Obviously, there'll be parking sailed. Like, I guess you pay for parking, but like to have that all on site, you're going to get a space. It'd be brilliant if you could fill it. 11,000 seats, I think, is that came out in the press?
Yeah, that is the capacity on stadium.
So there we are. There's our challenge, just local. Let's fill that place on the first game. But no, you've got an amazing facility. It's very easy to get to. You've got all of that, haven't you?
Absolutely. I think, in our heads we were thinking that this would help drive attendances up. Our attendances at Claims are good for the facility. Again, they vary, but it's generally been 600 or 700 the last few games. But I think we could definitely push that forward. And since the news broke, I was expecting a split. There's some traditionalists who don't always like change and things like that, which I get, and we are where we are on that. But actually, it's been 99.9%, if not 100% positive, which has been brilliant. It's been messages, hundreds of messages, and social media posts, and people stopping us in the streets saying, "This is brilliant. We're going to come and support you now. We're going to get there." And I've messages saying, "We'll have tickets, and we'll come. We'll have season tickets," which, they won't all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not naive, but if even half of them do, we'll have a massive spike in attendances, which will be brilliant.
I think you're right, and everyone will enjoy that first game, but they won't really kind of know the hard work that's gone into it. And we've spoken for a couple of weeks. It wasn't easy to get to the point where this has been done. It seems like a no-brainer, but it's never as simple as that. So you must have had a lot of things to consider. But I think it will be amazing for the area, amazing for Worcester, amazing for the kind of the whole Worcestershire area. And I'm really excited to say that it's going to be here. What's the first kind of month that the real football kicks off? Is it straight from like June, July, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, it will depend on what league we're in and fixture releases and things like that. But it's normally sort of late July, early August sort of time. Yeah.
You can tell them a rugby.
But no, I think again, if you look at all the feedback online and just in the local press and stuff, that is so positive. People are so enthused by it. I think we've had such a tough few years in Worcester with sport. With what's gone on with the Warriors and the basketball and the football. I think people are just latching onto the positivity. Hopefully rugby coming back,
as they should. I mean, that's it. It kind of feels like it's like that's the first of the hat trick now. So we got that bit sorted. We need Warriors next, and then we need to get the plans in place for the regeneration of Sixways. It's like it's all done then.
Well, I think that's a jump, but
Sophie's going, that's Matt.
But no, all that positivity has to be good, and everybody's feeling that, and they're ready for it, and it's brilliant. And I suppose it's our job to surf that wave and get people in and sort of turn that enthusiasm and positive and interest into actual bums on seats and people enjoying it, and then give them a good experience and then build on it and all the things we're talking about, the corporate stuff, get it all joined up, get it happening in everybody's interest. And if it makes Sixways sustainable, and if it makes us sustainable, and if the local people can enjoy it, then it's win-win-win, isn't it?
Certainly is. Laura Napper and Simon Lancaster, thank you both for coming in. I know you've probably got lots you're trying to do. You've still got Christmas parties going on, and
we do.
Still got a big business that you're running as well. But we really do appreciate it, and I'm sure anyone that's listening or watching will also appreciate it. Laura Napper exclusive episode is coming out next after this one, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Have a fantastic Christmas, and we can't wait to see you guys at Sixways.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much.
No worries.